Hi everyone, I've just been sent an email. Big thanks to Alan for sending me this link. And this is possibly the worst level of driving instruction I've ever seen. So I've got to let you guys see the footage straight away. So what we're going to do, let me just get this up on my screen. Hang on a sec, let's put it back to the beginning and then we are ready. Let's roll. This was, in fact, before we start, just pause it just there. This was posted to YouTube a couple of days ago from when I'm first seeing this. And it's by a driving instructor called SDS Mindset Drive. I just want you to draw your attention to what it says on the first part of the page. Implement the power of mindset into your driving, and this is going to be really important later on. So let's play. Introducing hazard perception. Dumb people doing dumb things. I'm going to turn my screen down.
I often hear, being a driving instructor must be a stressful job. Yeah, it's not. My students are cool and I love my job. This is the most stressful part. I will not enable drivers to continue being stupid on the road. If it's not the right of way, best believe I will not give them way.
And that's going to be a massive part of this video. Remember that.
I will not enable their behaviour so that they do it again to what they believe is a student driver or anybody else.
Okay, just watch this first clip and remember what's been said about it's as if she's not going to cede priority and this is going to be passed over to her students. It's the silver vehicle up ahead that we're watching. I have seen this once, this whole clip. Or this whole video, well, apart from the end. The audacity to keep moving forward even when you can see me. That's the polar opposite of what I talk about, isn't it? And she does a stupid driver and she does a little bit of an analysis.
So I'm driving on the major road and he's on the minor road. He can see me coming. He can't reverse back because there's people behind him, but he should stop.
So why carry on? If you think about this scenario, the vehicle's obviously got out to a certain position and she recklessly just carries on into the space. Yes, the driver to the left should cede priority, but honestly, what have I said about driving into risk? And this is a driving instructor. I'm not sure whether this is a potential driving instructor or an approved driving instructor. In other words, is it a trainee or is it someone fully qualified? But honestly, either, this ain't good enough.
Luckily, there was no one on my right-hand side. Whoa, that was close.
So why let it happen? It's the white van in this clip. I'm pausing it before anything's gone on. Look at the distance we've got. It's clear and obvious that the white van's already committed. No, they shouldn't go. Yes, people do this to driving school vehicles all the time. I'm constantly talking about that. And yes, it does happen. But this is a driving instructor. She must be passing better habits on to her students than this. Watch what she says.
So it's my right of way because
It's my right of way. Is there such thing as a right of way or is it just priority?
Because I'm continuing straight ahead and it's way too late for him to make this decision. Whether he...
I agree, it's way too late for them to make the decision, but you could see that happening as we paused the clip earlier from a mile off. Well, not literally a mile off, but from a number of seconds before. And I don't think much speed was adjusted to accommodate. I think it was a little bit of a retribution. I'm going to keep moving. And we'll see this later on in this footage.
Whether he thinks I'm a learner driver or not, he shouldn't be doing this. Someone tell him.
Okay, just to the footage, in a minute. Just have a look at what's said at the bottom. This is the third incident on the same day, by the way. Check the date and time. What do I say about people who post certain things on social media? That if things keep on happening, what's the common theme? Well, it's yourself. I drive around for a month and probably produce maybe 15 minutes worth of clips, and they're stretched out a lot of the time now because I analyse them and we put learning points into them. But these incidents are honestly, the contribution from this driving instructor is huge. And before we go any further, what should this driving instructor be doing with this pedestrian on the left hand side? What are the rules? Is this the entrance to a junction? Yes, it is. What should she be doing? She should be giving way, and she doesn't. That's not the clip, though. The roundabout's negotiated reasonably, and there's no issues leaving. She deals with the crossing fine, but watch the vehicles from the right, or the vehicle from the right side. It moves out. Now that's a terrible emerge again. However, let's see what she says in a minute. But look at her following distance. She's now tailgating, and this is definitely, again, a reprimand. Look how closely she follows this vehicle for a while. This is the stupid swear word I have to put up with every single day. Do you react in this way to all of these stupid things happening? And are you passing that across towards your students?
So as I leave the roundabout, you can see him about to come to the end of the road, which is cool, but he needs to wait behind the line. Then as soon as I'm ready to go, because the lights change, he comes.
Now, who noticed that particular road? Giveaway lines across the full width, so it's a one-way. What position do you think this driver was in, and where do you think they were going? You can see their movement in relation to yours, and that determines your course of action. She didn't spot this, and she should. Listen to what's said now, though.
Why? No indication, no nothing. He just expects me to give him way. Can't be dealing with this.
Can't be doing with this. And this is a driving instructor who's teaching paying pupils.
So I'm about to drive off, and it's quite hard to see, but at the end of the road I can see her coming. So
I've paused this clip here to ask, what would you do in this scenario? It's a very difficult turn from this driver that's turning into the road's perspective. I think what I would do here, I would slow and tuck it to the left hand side. At the end of the day, this road coming out has, it's the side road, it's the minor road. The other road where the black car's turning in has priority. So really, you should accommodate people turning in. Let's see what goes on.
So I slow down, but does she want to be any more in my lane? I think she could do with turning in a bit later. What do you think?
I agree. Just pausing the clip a second. I agree, but I think that was a little bit of a non-event. It was a difficult turn by that other driver. Still poor from this driving instructor to be questioning it, though. Your ability should easily be able to deal with that. What goes on in this clip? Okay, back into the left. It's a little bit of a dive out to the right now. And it's obviously a complicated junction. What would I say? Driving a staggered formation? Most definitely. Does it happen? Yeah, let's have a look. Again, it's not a good manoeuvre by the Ford Fiesta. However, you should easily be able to deal with that. Let's hear what's said.
He should take the wrong exit. Instead of doing this, or go behind me. But it's okay, because I was in a good mood that day.
I was in a good mood that day. What a terrible attitude. Let's go back to what was said right at the beginning of my initial reaction about the mindset. Is this mindset going to be passed over towards the pupils? I was in a good mood, so we let it go. If not, maybe we would have done something different. This was the clip that honestly made me nearly comment on the video. I didn't, but have a look. On the rare occasion I look at the driver, I can see he's getting annoyed at me. Well, I wouldn't get annoyed, but I'd be wondering what you were doing considering you're a driving instructor. There was a very small space on the opposite side of the road. I don't think it was big enough for that other vehicle to pull in. So therefore, if I was approaching that situation, I would be ready to cede priority. But she doesn't get it. She doesn't get it whatsoever. Listen to her response. Why don't you go slower if you can't see? Let's ask that question to the instructor. Whose view was any different from the other person's? Neither. So she should have been slower into that situation in case someone came round, just like they were. She couldn't work that out in any day of the week. Useless springs to mind. Blows my mind. Common sense ain't that common. You're not wrong. Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting watching your analysis.
I'm not going to lie though, the moment
incidents.
he saw me coming, he should slow down. There's a gap there. Take it, because technically it's not your priority. The parked cars are on your side.
Totally incorrect. What you should do in that situation, if someone's already committed and they haven't got room to pull in, it's not your priority like she thinks. It's the other way around. Let's have a look at this clip. There's massive irony with this as well, because in the analysis part, if I remember rightly, she foresees this problem. See what she does. Listen to this.
So these are the things I'd like for you to look out for as a driver. Look at the car's body and position. Then you have an inkling that something is going to happen. They're not following their lane. They're slowing down. This is abnormal behavior.
So if you know this and you've recognised this, why did you do what you did? And you're passing this information across towards paying students. They're going to act in the same way you are. Blows my mind. I can't get my head around this.
So as a driver, I'm looking and I notice a silver car starts to slow down. Dodgy. Then his tyres got on my line. Dodgy. No, I'm not letting you go. You can see that I'm on your right. You can go behind me because it's too late. You snooze, you lose.
If you snooze, you lose. It makes you wonder what people are going to turn out like that this lady has taught. No words. No words can describe what I'm feeling. Let's get on with the next clip. What do you think of that one? Stupid taxis. She's back to being in a good mood. So before we go on to the next clip, let's just think of that last one. So yes, you should check your mirror before you slow down and alter what you're doing with your braking to suit what's going on behind. But it seems as though the car safety systems reacted there. And why was it? Because again, she was tailgating, she was way too close, and think of the poor conditions. Professional instructor, interesting. All right, this clip, I think this student who's driving at the time, it's not the instructor driving, and a lot of these have been the instructor driving, but what's going on here is that this student's parked in at the side of the road, and watch the two vehicles behind have a little bit of road rage because of the confusion that this instructor lets the student give out towards these other drivers. It's this white Audi behind. And I think this student's signalling, and the Audi holds back and lets go. The Land Rover does not do a good job, but you think of what the driver of that Land Rover has seen. They've seen a parked vehicle and the Audi come up behind and stop behind it. And if it's clear ahead, I can understand why they maybe look to do an overtake. They were massively too impatient. But the contribution from this instructor and their student was huge, and they just pinned the blame on these two. No one in this clip acts in a decent way, by the way.
You have to interpret the correct intention of the driver.
What does that mean? You've just confused people by signalling at the side of the road.
When it comes to flashing, you have to interpret the correct intention of the driver. In this case, it's very clear that the white car is slowing down to give my student way. So I give this grey car the benefit of the doubt, doesn't know why the white car is braking, and honestly, it doesn't matter. If the car in front of you brakes, you need to brake too.
But think about what I've said about what the driver of the grey Land Rover has seen. They've seen the learner car in front, no one further up the road, and the Audi stopping behind it. Even, I think in the clip, the instructor tells the pupil to get on with it, and they talk about maybe acting a little quicker. So like I said, nothing massively wrong with this clip, but there's a massive contribution that this instructor does not talk about with their pupil. Pupil's got no idea. What should they have done with this Land Rover now? Now they see that. Were they checking? Were they constantly assessing their surroundings? What would you have done if this Land Rover had started to overtake? I think I would have slowed down, let the Land Rover finish, and then continued. But this isn't discussed. This is terrible driving instruction.
So when he realises he needs to slow down, what is he doing? Like, what is this behaviour?
It is poor from these two, and it looks as though there's...
it's an ego thing, and then someone has the audacity to horn as well.
Well, the confusion was started by this driving instructor, although these two don't do themselves any credit.
Yeah, it's over, that's it, continue driving. It's not over yet. I don't know why, but look at what this grey car does. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I think there's road rage going on here.
Quick question, you know that guy that was overtaking? Was that guy sort of like guy and just go quicker? Yeah. Okay.
So the instructors just said to the pupil, when the pupil asked the question, was he right to go quicker? I don't think so. I think the best option there, when they'd seen the Land Rover start to overtake, was just to hold station. Anyway. So yeah, there's potentially a little bit of afters. But not much is being taught to this pupil. They don't realise their part in that incident, and they need to. Talking about the instructor as well. In any case, not much goes on in this clip. The traffic moves in a second. on the lane 1, and literally the Land Rover gets on with it. Like you said, at the bottom there they were talking about reacting. I didn't react to what was going on behind us. I wanted Gar, I think that's the pupil, to keep us focused on what's ahead. That's exactly why the problem happened. Yeah, I think the grey car just rejoins. There's no altercation now, it's all finished. And then everyone gets on with the day. Yeah, it's a terrible emerge, but you should have seen that. Absolutely should have been ready.
It's not like it's a closed junction. He can see me coming now, but then he chooses to go.
Okay, I've just paused the clip at the perfect point. It's not like it's a closed junction. He can see me coming now. Where do you see the car? It's on a left-hand bend, and the emerge is a difficult one. I'm not excusing the poor emerge. The emerge needed to be much better, but this instructor has to be miles better than this. Listen to the excuse.
Then he chooses to go. So this is where I don't slow down and I'm going. So if I crash into you, I crash into you, mate. It's your fault.
Can you believe you've just heard that from a professional driving instructor? There's no hope for our roads if there's people like that out there, is there, really? Quite similar to the first clip. I'm going, I've got priority. You can't see me. What do I say about things when you think someone's not seen you? What advice do I give? Hold back, be ready to deal with it. This instructor is an accident waiting to happen, and so are all her pupils if they drive in this same manner. Doesn't he know I'm trying to be zen here with my peaceful music? Well, perhaps change your driving style and habits, alter what you're doing in relation to risk, and perhaps watch Ogmius a little more. Mind blown.
And it's not just cars, it could be pedestrians that are doing silly things, like these boys here.
So, yes, pedestrians can do silly things. These lads are quite close to the left-hand curb. And it says with the text at the bottom of the screen, these boys are fighting. What should go on if you're driving or riding here? You should slow down and be ready to stop. It's not what this instructor does. She just beeps the horn, and she doesn't even know why.
These boys here.
Mind blown. Seeing this really upsets me. Same here. So this is a pupil driving again. Someone else could emerge. It's a poor emerge again. Question by the instructor, Shania. Why would you do that last minute? Just stupid. Okay. What was talked to the student about, about the gap between ourselves and vehicles in front? What the oncoming traffic turning right was doing and what position they were at, and the body language and movement from the vehicle emerging. All of that needs to be taken into account for your student to understand the risk in that situation. And this instructor is just purely reactive. Awful instruction. Look what the student says next, if I remember rightly. They say about maintaining their speed. Yeah, there you go. Literally, I'm maintaining the perfect 30 as well. Laughing face emoji. So these students are reacting and having exactly the same attitude as this terrible instructor. Dear impatient people, stop taking risks and manage your time better. Dear terrible instructors, stop increasing risks and teach your pupils better. I can't remember this clip. Picking the right track. Oh. I don't think I watched up to this. I think I turned it off at that point. So this is the first time you've seen it. Don't know. Lane 2 overtaken, no problems. That's fine at the roundabout, all good. Why aren't we seeing in front? Glad I wasn't concert singing, that would have been embarrassing. Probably not as much as you're teaching. Okay, why is the... don't ask me how I managed to see this. I've got eyes in the back of my head, mate. What's this red Vauxhall doing catching this car? What does that mean is happening in lane 1? Poor lane discipline for me. And it seems as though, again, that this instructor closed the space down. Yeah, it's impatient. Wait there. Well, someone doesn't check the mirrors before lane changing. You can't assume that from there. There's obviously someone in front. You can't tell that from there. But let's just ask this. Yes, the undertaking's wrong. Yes, this red Vauxhall's being impatient, but what happens prior to an undertake? It's poor lane discipline. Simple as that. And like I said, I don't think that this instructor altered their speed to reduce risk. It's as if they saw this one coming through, and it's hard to tell because we haven't got a speedo on footage, but it seems as though to me they increased their pace. That's only my opinion though. See it again. Is the pace increased here? It's hard to tell. In any case, not much going on. What's happening with this clip? Again, I haven't seen these clips from here on in. How long have we got left? We've only got 1:18 left of the footage, so maybe 1 or 2 clips left. Don't know what's going on, not seen it. So, turning right. Right turning lane only. Any issues around a junction? No one's moving left. No one could cut through left or right. Nope. All good. Good lane discipline. Correct choice of lane. Crossing's okay. Whenever I see good looking car, sexy car, talk to myself a lot when driving. What's she talking about? BMW. I can't believe she's going through into that.
Oh, I wish that I were dust.
This can happen mostly on motorways when both of you are wanting to go into the middle lane and it's both of your blind spots.
Both of your blind spots? No, at most, this vehicle may be slightly obstructed in the A-pillar blind spot of the driving instructor. But if she's got anything about her, she should be moving in the seat and keeping an eye on that. The BMW looked as though it had a right signal on, but even at this clip, at this point where I've paused it, the BMW is steering left and it's going on the markings. Would you go back into lane 2 at this point? She's got no perception of risk or danger. It's frightening.
I didn't actually realise until now, but his road markings, he's not allowed to do that. His road marking says no, don't do this. I hope you enjoyed this video. I mean, it stressed me out, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you next Sunday for episode 2.
What's your thoughts on that? Like I said, big thanks to Alan for letting me know about this footage. I have no idea how anyone teaching anyone on the road can be this poor. I've got massive concerns about the levels of driving instructors, as you know, and what I am going to do is I am going to report this driving instructor to the DVSA. It can't go on like this. She's a danger. She's going to be passing these dangerous things on to many, many people. I'll keep you posted on that, how that goes. In the meantime, thanks a lot for tuning in. I'll see you soon.